Here we go, guys. Sorry for my tardiness. I'm exactly 1 hour late. Mm. Thought I could take a quick nap. Big mistake. Big mistake, guys. Big mistake. Thought I could take a quick nap. Huge, huge, huge mistake. Man. Hey, what's up, V? Yeah, that's on me. That's a big mistake on my end. But yeah, let me put out a tweet. Let me put out a message actually on my personal account real quick before I continue. Yeah, so once it hits I'm gonna end the stream at exactly 3 o'clock ish. 3 o'clock ish. I'll end the stream. Here we go. Let me see what we got here. Hmm. Oh Lord, consciously, this guy. Anyway, let's open up Instagram real quick before we have continue with. Oh, you know what the hell did I just see? Hold on, I just saw some. You know what? So apparently, a podcaster is coming out and saying Diddy had relations with Carl Winslow. If this is true, if this is true, we all owe Corey Holcomb. We got to give Corey Holcomb his flowers. He's the only one that be calling out the nonsense before it gets mainstream. Corey Holcomb was probably the only person that saw the fruitiness behind Carl Winslow. Oh man. We gotta give Carl Winslow his props. He's the only one that saw the madness. He's the only one that saw. Wow. Because I remember when Corey Holcomb would make jokes about him, and I'll just be like, nah. Nah, man. Well, he was for real. It was definitely for real. Man, man, man. That's isn't that something? Isn't that something? Anyway, let me show some things real quick. Cause I got a new lineup of interesting videos that I'm already made videos too, but I'm just waiting to drop them. But these should be some interesting these are some interesting videos that I got saved up. So right here, before I even get into bottom G. So they call him top G. Before we even go into Andrew Tate, we got some videos to go through. But it'll be short because I know like at 3 o'clock, I'm signing out at 3 o'clock sharp. So I'm not I so I won't I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be able to have the panel open. Um Maybe towards the end I might open it up, but we'll see because I really had to be out at 3 o'clock. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll keep that up to open ended. But let's look at this uh one right here. So remember when I had that video where remember what when I had that video or a live stream and I said that like basically the stuff that women wear today, they don't realize this is prostitutes. This is prostitute attire or this is stripper uh you know, this is typical stripper wear attire. But women growing up our age, they don't realize like Gen Z women particularly or Gen Alpha, they don't the clothes that they are wearing, they don't realize this is the stuff that hookers wear on the street. So then they'll get shocked if they go into like a club. You know, they go inside a club and they see the women wearing these clothes and they'll be like, these people are wearing what I'm wearing. And you a lot of the times you often have to correct them and say, no, you're wearing what they're wearing. So right here, you see a girl, basically, this is her Instagram, and she's just basically promoting her Instagram. But this is just a regular, she just think this is a regular, she just thinks she's just a regular Instagram model showing off her stuff. But what she's wearing specifically is stuff that you literally see from a hooker at night. It's not like it's not even I'm not even trying to I swear I'm not even trying to shame her. It's like her exact outfit is what you see hookers wear even today, like at night. Like they'll show like you'll see like these videos of Rodeo Drive or streets in Seattle, right? And you'll see hookers literally wearing these kind of things. So let's take a look at her Instagram because this is a Gen Z. This is clear. This is a girl right here. When you look at her, this is a young girl. This is a Gen Z girl. This is a generation girl. This is a girl. This girl my age, right? This is clearly so she's from Miami. So this is a Cuban girl, right? So this is a girl. Yeah, this is a young girl, but she doesn't realize a lot of the stuff that these girls wear. These are not appropriate attire to just to model. Even if you're a model, you don't wear stuff like that. This is there's a lot of particularly Gen Z women don't understand proper protocol, you know. So I remember going through this. So you cannot be shocked if they don't know the proper protocol. Okay, let's just for copyright easy, but just take a look one more time. He said, "What is the time now at your place?" Oh, aerodynamic. You see, he's and trust me, I know this is like they don't even what, but those women they don't even realize these are like women don't even realize this is stuff that hookers wear like on the norm. Or if they went down to like the regular streets where the hookers are usually at, the ones that they think they're better than, right? The ones that the OnlyFans models think they're better than, and then if you just sent them on to that drive, they would all be wearing this attire. They don't even realize it. Like she don't even like so whoever the woman in her life, this specific woman in her life, clearly the older women in her life are sabotaging her by letting her walk out like this. Because when I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, this is a hook. This is a hooker. But anyway, I don't know. Maybe when it hits the 2 o'clock mark or the 1:30 mark, I don't know. I will start to address the Andrew Tate tweet that got everybody stirred up. You know what I'm saying? But man, good shout out to aerodynamic. Aerodynamic's not lying. If you go on a college campus, shoot, even in high school, but if they if, if you say that, they'll shame you for looking, which I've never really understood that logic because I'm like, if I was really okay, if I'm a predator, why would I even address the obvious? I would act like nothing's wrong and just let you keep getting away with it for my own pleasure. But you know the normies got it all twisted. They just don't want to be held accountable at no point. At no point. Aerodynamics said the cheeks be hanging out the shorts. Exactly. Facts. Because it's not like because it's not like on campus, they're not necessarily wearing like the leather attire, but the shorts that they're wearing, it's like, bro. Especially like that first week of college, especially like those what the stuff that the freshmen will wear first week of college when they're finally away from their parents for the first time in their lives and they're on campus. Oh my God. The stuff that they will wear, the booty shorts that they're gonna come on campus with. They're there. Man, it's wild. It's wild. That first week of campus and college campus is wild. Is like to say it's wild is a massive understatement. But anyway, let's move on to another video because I got some highlights of videos real quick. Oh man, and this is gonna be something where this is a little bit. I had this video. I had this saved somewhere, but I don't know where I found the. I don't know where the full video is. So I saw this on the algorithm via Coach Greg Adams' channel, and I was supposed to do a video specifically on this. And when it comes to simping, right? When we're calling men simps and or if we're calling men tricks or whatever, if we're calling men any negative words, I think there's a lot of men that they'll diss certain men and they don't realize they're part of the problem as well. Like they'll like the average guy thinks he's better than a Fresh Prince CEO, right? Like or one of these guys. They don't realize they're all of you guys are in the same boat. So, for example, when Fresh Prince CEO got caught up with that Miranda chick or whatever, or I don't know how else do I say this? Because right now, Myron on Fresh and Fit, he has a girlfriend right now. This is what I'm finding all of this out right now, but I'm like both of these both of their it seemed like both of their girls got a pass. You know what I mean? So or you'll have it'll be people in this RP space that get a girl out of nowhere. And I look at them the same way that most dudes just look at Fresh with a girl. It's just obvious with Fresh that oh, the girl's just with him because of the paper. Or if you see like an old man with a beautiful chick, it's, oh, we all know what that is. But I look at all of you guys in the same light because what ends up happening is you got these so-called RP guys, right? RP aware guys. And you can tell that they're not necessarily getting a whole lot of women in general. And when I watch people in real life, I'll be like, it's not just Fresh. I'll be like, because I watch people, I'm like, it's not just Fresh. Because I'm they get one decent looking chick that's not too bad, and they'll find the one chick that that swallows them. They right? They get swallowed up by one chick, and then they end up like this guy here proposing to a chick that really is not really into you like that. And then you're gonna call this girl a bad guy if she turns down your wedding proposal, right? But really, it's your fault as a man, as a simp, for being in the year 2024. After all this information has come out about marriage, about cohabitation, and blah blah blah, all this information, Kevin Samuels, all these people that done gone viral, all this information that men have really never had in terms of public information about this kind of thing. You still got simps like this in 2024 that think they're still above it. And then the girl that they're proposing to clearly is not even into them. And not only that, the woman's not even close to a virgin, not even close. You know what I mean? They're the same people that be like, oh, Undead Chronic is unreasonable for saying no hymen, no diamond. But I'm like, that then they'll pull a move like this, proposing to a chick that belongs to the streets. Let me give you an example. Let's watch this video and tell me what you see. Tell me what you see.
Oh, 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 oh. Ah! No, you're not. Are you serious? Oh, shit. No, you're not. Are you serious? Oh, serious. Wow. Yes. Wow. Oh, 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 oh. Ah!
This guy's an idiot. This guy's an idiot. Oh, so you see, did you see that Logan Paul got that 304 pregnant? Exactly. And well, Logan, with Logan Paul though, I think that is an arranged situation. But even still, it's just like, why? Out of all the 304s, but when it comes to celebrities and who they pick and who they decide to make as their main chick, um, it, I'll go into Logan Paul later, but let me describe this situation right here because I don't really have faith in Logan Paul, and Jake Paul, because when you talk about Logan Paul and Jake Paul, these guys are what you call professional clout chasers. That's what they are. I don't expect really anything more or nothing less from them. These guys are professional clout chasers. So I don't really expect morality. I don't expect like great decisions coming from those guys. I expect it plus those guys like that, they when we talk about, meatheads, right? Guys that are juiced up, if you know what I'm saying. I believe those guys are not natty. So I don't expect their judgment just in general to be that good. So they're not even like they're not natty, if you know what I'm saying. They're not natty. And that's a bit of an accusation to lobby against them. But when we're talking about Logan Paul, Jake Paul, these guys, I don't think they're natty. So I don't expect their judgment to be at the best. These people don't have the best judgment. You know what I mean? Clearly maybe they had an agreement that only she would agree to. That's what I think about what I'm thinking about, Logan Paul and these people. Anyway, pertaining this clip, when you analyze this clip, this is clearly something very one-sided, meaning you can tell this girl. I already know. First of all, I see girls like this all the time at the bars. Girls like this, they be dating multiple dudes, dog. Meaning, what people don't understand, women today are encouraged by the women, the older women that have given them advice. They have told they've told these women, look, date on, they'll tell them date non-exclusively. Women like this have two dudes, three dudes minimum, meaning they have one dude, they'll have like one or two dudes that they really like to bang, and then they'll have one dude like this guy here that's taking her a little bit seriously, but she keeps him hanging on and probably lets him smash sometimes, but just she puts on the good girl image, the good quirky girl image for this guy. And like I said, the bar is so low. The bar is super low for women because, like I said, men still want to get married. There's a lot of men out there that's, I'm not saying most, but there's still a lot of men that still want to get married. There's still a lot of men that, the reason why you'll see tradcon men that are being on the desperate tip is because they can't afford to escape the matrix. Black men can afford to be inside the matrix, outside the matrix. They because most of the time when they see black men, they don't even expect us to have a family unit or a wife. You know what I'm saying? Some a family, like they don't even expect us to have that. But what black men don't understand, there's a freedom that comes with that. There's freedom. That means we have a choice. A lot of white dudes do not have a choice because the matrix, people gotta understand who built the matrix. Their forefathers. So they have to find a wife. So they'll find some girl that's a little bit cooperative, that's doing like one thing decently good. They find the one girl that will swallow their nut, right? that will swallow them up, and it'll be like, oh my god, she's the one. So right here, you see him going straight down on bended knee, right? Now, one thing I don't under one thing that I do go on women's side for this. I don't understand why men will publicly propose to women that, and I'm meaning they haven't even talked about the marriage, meaning I don't believe in this whole public proposal thing, publicly proposing to women, because I think you're putting women, like, to put women on the spot like that. That's not. I don't think that's fair to women because women don't even like being put on the spot like that. Second of all, you need to discuss these things. You need to be doing what they call that, like premarital counsel. Premarital counseling. You need to already have an idea that, look, I do want to get married to the girl. She wants to get married to me. It's just a matter of when he's going to propose to me, not if he is going to propose to me or whatever. So you have these guys out here that still are following traditional rules, still doing traditional things for modern hoes. Sorry, modern 304s. And you could see the level of shock because what people don't understand is she's dating other dudes. So what happens is this is what happens. This is what people don't understand. When you're dealing with girls like that are they won't even back in the day, girls would do this. So you'll have darks. What did AJ call Logan Paul? Darth Simpius, right? So you'll have Darth Simpius that will propose to the girl. And usually the person that proposes first, the man that proposes first to the girl that's dating multiple dudes, is usually the guy that's the beta bucks. That's the beta guy. That's the Brad, not the Chad. That's the Brad that usually proposes first. The safe option if things don't work out with the with Chad. So what happens is Brad will propose to a chick like this, and she'll accept it, or she'll be like, "I'll think about it." You ever those or but most of the time they'll accept it, but what happens, they'll accept it, but they will go back to their Chad fling or the other dude that she really likes, the other dude that she really wants the other dude to propose to her, she'll go to that guy and be like, "Look, other dude just proposed to me. What are you gonna do about it?" And most of the time, Chad will be like, "Well, I'll still smash, but I'm not gonna do nothing else with you with on that. You're not gonna pressure me to take that weight off your finger." So what ends up happening is most times, then the woman will cut off Chad and then will be with Brad. You know what I mean? That's usually what happens because women like that, they date multiple, they date women that look like that or that have that kind of personality because, like I said, the bar is so low. So women that have that kind of quirky or personal, friendly type personality, those will be the ones that end up dating multiple dudes, whether by accident, whether on purpose, because they have a decent, I like to say decent personality and they're pretty ish. So I'm looking at her. She looks like the homebody type. She's not like a stunning 10 or 9, but she's a brunette and she's a 7, like on the 7-8 scale. She knows how to look pretty in public. So girls like that be getting proposed to, but girls like that, they'll have like multiple dudes proposing to her and she's going to weigh her options. Now, you can tell with this specific guy here, this is a guy she probably let smash probably a couple times, but that guy is way too in love with that girl. And she's like, dude, you can tell in her face, she's like, why are you proposing to me? You could tell. Guys like this are ruining the game. Rocky said that he's listening at work. Shout out to you, bro. He said Uruguay, Paraguay, and Argentina have European only enclaves left alone and self-sufficient. Oh, Boyce Watkins, yes. Anybody that knows about Boyce Watkins, anybody saw that proposal that Boyce Watkins did to his now wife at the time? Like, that was so pathetic, bro. That was, and you could just tell. She's just like, why is this man proposing? If you can sense, like, I'm talking about when the outside world can sense that this is a bit forced, that's how you know as a man you're doing it wrong. That's how I feel about it. It should already be it should already be no doubt when you're proposing. It's not even, is she going to say yes? If you have to ask that, is she going to say yes? Then don't do it. It's already should be, yeah, the bitch obviously wants to marry me. It's just a matter of when I'm going to do it. But these ninjas, man, I don't know who are raising these people, bro. And these be the same people that they'll look down on. They think they're not in the same class as like a midget with money. They don't think they're I'm like, you guys are the same people. You guys are the same people. You're both beta bucks. You're both beta bucks. Rocky said, yeah. Anybody that, if you guys have the time, look at the Boyce Watkins proposal. Let me see. It's 1:30 right now. Okay. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you this proposal one last time, and then I'm gonna show you Boyce Watkins' proposal to the broad. And mind you, that broad was like way older, like way older. She's like in her 40s, like late 30s, like way post wall. Like Boyce Watkins was on some Simpmus Maximus Simpmus mode, like crazy.
Are you serious? Oh shit! No, you're not. Are you serious? Wow.
And I'll say this, I see the comment. So it's a girl that says guys aren't thoughtful. That's why she reacted that way. What woman wants to be proposed to dressed like that, eating food literally mid chew with the beer? He gave no thought or consideration to his proposal. Well, a lot of like guys like that, they don't. You gotta tell the bitch, look, tonight you gonna be nice and dressed up. This is what we gonna do, and then it should be in front of friends and family and stuff like that. But it should already be no doubt in your mind that she's going to say yes. But what guys do, they think they just dudes think they're slick because they think they have a good job and whatnot that the woman she just has to accept, right? And just put the bitch out in front of everybody in Times Square and make her publicly say yes to your proposal, knowing good and damn well she has other dudes. Like, dudes is doing it all wrong, dog. Dudes is doing it all wrong, man. In my view, I'm not even a person that is looking to get married because I already told I'm not getting married in America. That's just I can't get married in a place where the laws don't do not the laws do not incentivize women to be a good woman. And I know this, but I still want to roll the dice. No, I'm not finna do all that. I'm not finna do all that. If I have to get married, I'm gonna move to a place where the laws favor the men. So that means going to the Philippines, one of these spots, Colombia, one of these spots where the divorce laws are made where it's like illegal to divorce, or they make it where if we have kids, the woman can't just take the kids from me. This is where, 'cause I'm looking at this. I know girls like this, dog. Dude, you know what I'm gonna start doing? Because I don't want to do it though. I'm gonna start taking photos with girls. And I'm gonna show you because men operate at such a scarcity mindset. People don't understand how many girls I know that are like this. But to him, he's like, man, this is a catch. She's pretty. She's a small town girl. I see girls at like country concerts and gigs like this all the time. So maybe that's what it is. But I can already tell, oh, man, she's the one, man. I'm gonna get her to say yes. That's the mentality that a lot of men have. I'm gonna get her to say yes. And if you have that mentality, you're going to put it's you're signing up for your own funeral. And shout out to this comment right here. They said she has multiple side dudes. Let me bring up Boyce Watkins real quick. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. Boyce Watkins. Oh wow. Oh man, do they have the full video? They got Corey Holcomb reacted to it when it happened a while back. Let me see. I don't know if they have the full video. Full video. Let's see if I can find it. Sinful. Oh man, shout out, rest in peace to Sinful P though. That's another content creator that I knew for a while before he passed away. I took for granted. Let me see if I need to find the actual. Oh, it looks like he took the video off his thing. Let's see if I can find it though.
She appears.
Let's see, 20 minutes and let's see. Oh,
Yo, we live. I'm gonna get straight to it.
Room I said.
Also, fair thought. Fair use to Pedro's thoughts. It looks like the full video they took it off because too many people were roasting Boyce Watkins.
This Dr. Boyce Watkins dude.
And I saw her across a crowded room. Literally, I remember that very moment. And I looked across the room and I said, "Oh my gosh, that is a pretty lady." And I went and I sat down and talked to her. And she gave me.
Y'all look at this, man. It look like she ain't even paying attention to this guy.
Alicia Taylor.
Like he's just over here talking, bro. It's like she ain't even paying attention. Man got on a fanny pack. Y'all see that? What kind of dude wear a fanny pack, man? Like what's going on here?
Yo.
And pretty. I think you were walking out. I was like, ooh, look at that.
It's crazy.
And we went up.
So because I remember seeing the full video, and she's literally, she doesn't even want to be standing next to this ninja. It's so embarrassing. Like I don't, but these be the dudes that look, man. I'll say this. The people that I see that will be, they think they're better than the average man, or they think they're better than a midget. Right? These be the people that be calling into the Fresh and Fit show. And it's like I said, it's easy to roast fresh. It's easy. That's the only time, because I would see the Fresh and Fit call-in shows when they would have guests in on the call-in shows. And these dudes be pathetic. The only time they're not pathetic is when they're roasting Fresh. That's the only time they find a voice. And to me, it rubs me the wrong way. Only because I've heard the people that call it on the Fresh and Fit show. I've heard them, and I'm like, these people can't even talk. I remember they did like a call-in show, and Andrew Tate was on the show. People don't like. I don't watch when I used to watch Fresh and Fit. I would never watch the after hour show. I didn't realize that was the after hour show is what made the show famous. I would watch the shows where they would just do the interview one-on-one with the guys. The one when I remember watching when Tommy Sotomayor came on, or when Andrew Tate had came on the show. And then I remember watching the call-in shows, and I'm like, and I remember listening to these guys, and I'm like, are these guys like I know I'm a shy person just in general. I'm not a great talker myself, but I'm like, these ninjas always asking the same question. They're always asking the same shit. I'm telling you, these guys will call in on the show, on the Fresh and Fit show, with that same bullshit. Oh man, my girl, she's talking about she still has her ex's number. What should I do? And you're just like, are you guys serious? Oh, my girl, oh no, they'll be like, oh, I'm at this gym and there's just this girl that I want to talk to. Should I talk to her? And you're just like, bro. First of all, you have Myron, because it's not that I don't take what Fresh says, I don't take him seriously. It's just that he's not a talker. Talking is just not his strong suit in general. So I don't really take what Fresh says to the bank anyways. So I end up taking Myron to task because he's the talker of the show. So then Myron will give out his advice, and Myron is always, pro cold approach and always giving people PUA advice. And I'm like, this is terrible. This is terrible advice, bro, that they're giving. But I remember they had Andrew Tate come on one of these call-in shows, and these dudes was calling in on some pathetic type shit. And Andrew Tate had to stop the show. He was just like, whoa, time out. He said, you guys that are calling in, you guys sound pathetic. He said, when you're speaking, he started scolding the callers. He was like, you guys don't got no bass in your voice. You guys got no presentation about you. You guys don't get to the point. He was going in on the callers. These niggas was calling in on the show with their voices shaking and shit. I was like, these, and I'm like, so, but I'm like, these are the people that be roasting Fresh the most. And I'm like, you guys are all in the same boat. I just be like, you guys are all in the same boat. That's why I don't even try. Like, I don't go in on Fresh, not just because he's my twin, but he's not a talker. He's not like, and maybe because I watch too much Undead Chronic. Because Chronic, this is what happens. I go on Chronic show, and I'll stick up for Myron a little bit because of the Connecticut connection. And Chronic doesn't even get mad at me when I call Fresh my twin and shit. He don't even get mad at me for sticking up for Fresh. He get mad at me when I try to talk positive about Myron. And he be really going in on Myron, calling him a gay fed and all that. And I literally I'll be on Chronic show and I'll be like, well, you know, white people they do weird things with their pranks. They do a lot of gay pranks. This is why I don't get drunk a lot of around a lot of white people. So that's where I always be like, so those pictures of Myron in the bed with those dudes, right? I stick up for him on that end of the world because I'm like, when it comes to white people and their pranks, they be doing stuff like that and they think it's funny. So that's the but he be going in. That's just how it works, with me when it comes to the Fresh and Fit show. But like I said, guys like Boyce Watkins, they don't understand. They're in the same boat as Fresh and those people. They don't realize it. They don't, and I'm just objectively looking. They're in the same boat. They're in the same boat. If you're a guy, like, let's keep it real. If you're a guy and you're around the 28, 29, 30 mark, and you're the same guy saying, man, why are all these single moms? They're, it seems like I only attract single moms. Congratulations. You're in the same boat as Fresh Prince CEO. In the exact same boat. Beta Bucks. Most of you guys are not out here. Most of you guys are not Tyrones and Chads out here. You guys are in the same boat as Fresh. And if you guys actually operate that way, you guys could actually know what you're doing out here and not get finessed. Let me see if I missed any comments real quick. He said Maximus Sipimus. Oh, shoot. What's up? What's up, Garrett? What's up, bro? Garrett always be recognizing me in the chats when I be coming in on Chronic stream. Shout out to you, man. Well, I can't watch a lot of Chronic's streams from time to time. But Garrett's a witness in terms of Chronic be going in on Myron. He be going in on Myron. And to be fair, Myron and Fresh, both of these guys are scam artists. Exactly. Aerodynamic has it perfect. He said, if you didn't have any girls chasing you in high school, you are most likely not a Chad. Now, I lived in a bit of a different state, so you'll have a guy like me that will still have a chance from time to time. And I can't say in high school I can't say, oh, there was no girls checking for me. That would be irresponsible of me to say that. But obviously it wasn't the same approaches that like the Chads or the Tyrones would get. But I did play sports. You know what I mean? I did come out of nowhere. You know what I mean? I wasn't part of the inner circle, but I was part of the inner circle in terms of I was part of what they were doing because I always made the teams at an early age and stuff like that. So it's always that shock of me always coming through that would give me the advantage most times. So that would be irresponsible of me to say that. But I didn't have like hoes chasing me in high school like that. But aerodynamic is correct. If you guys did not have girls chasing you in high school, you're not a Chad, or you're not that guy. We'll just put it like that. You're not that guy. And I can tell. A lot of the times I can tell because this is how I can tell people most dudes are not that guy. When I start hearing dudes be like, you're when they start reprimanding dudes for cheating on their girl. And I know it sounds crazy when I say it like that. Or when they like, you're not a real uh you're not a real man if you don't if you're they'll say like if you're not a real man if you're not loyal to your girl. That's how I know. That's how I know they're not, because they don't get it. They don't get it. And like I said, people can say I'm wrong. Look, when a man with multiple women is different than a woman with multiple men. It's two different things. It's two different things. And I can tell when people are not that guy when they're afraid to say it like this. When Corey Holcomb says, look, as a man of my stature, it's impossible for a man like me to be with just one woman. And most men, to save face in front of other women, they'll be like, no, Corey, you're wrong. And they don't get it. You gotta, people need, because I've always had the perfect front row seat to the Chads, to famous people, to people that are on the low end of the totem pole. I've had the front row seat to with these people watching. People don't understand. There's a reason why a lot of these celebrities, they get in trouble when it comes to girls, because a lot of them didn't get that attention, whether they were in high school, middle school, college. They're not used to girls just throwing themselves at them without the fame. It's very few men that could say, look, before the fame, I still had hoes chasing me. It's very, because then once they get to that point, they end up like Fresh. They end up like Fresh. It's because I be watching people. Most dudes end up like Fresh. Most dudes. It's dudes that are dating single moms currently that I saw them going in on Fresh. That are dating. I'm talking about they are married to single moms currently, and they were going in on Fresh. A lot of TradCon dudes. You know what I mean? So these are the things that I see, and people don't understand. Most of us are in the same boat. Most of us. And when it comes to this shit. Let me see, Garrett. He said, what if you peaked in high school? This true. A lot of dudes do peak in high school. That's true, but I don't. Look, man. To me, in my opinion, the girls that you get in high school, in college, that's as good as it's going to get. Pussy don't get better with age. Pussy don't get better with age. Aerodynamic said, I had a bunch of mid Beckys chasing me in high school, not the Stacys though. But it's fine. Same here. Same here. That's what happened to me. So especially like somebody in my case where I was coming from an inner city middle school and then transitioning to back into the suburbs of high school suburbs, right? To now I actually have white bitches that like me and shit like that, that are actually willing to give me a chance. Or one, you had like one Asian bitch, one other Spanish bitch, right? You know what I mean? But I remember I had like one Spanish bitch, and we were about to probably start dating, but because I didn't ask her to cotillion, she was like, "Oh, like what is this all about?" You know what I mean? And she didn't want to be left hanging, so she ended up going to cotillion uh with somebody that had asked her first. You know what I mean? And then she went to me like, but I was like, I don't even want to go. I don't even want to go. I was the type of dude like I'd rather just like I'd rather stay. I'd rather stay home. And I'll say this: I told my siblings, don't do that. If you want to go to a dance, go to a dance. Don't do it like I did. It's just me personally. I never saw the hype behind, dancing. You know what I mean? Like when it came to high school, when it came to, I remember when I was going to college. Chris, do you want to go to the club? And or I'll be like, maybe I should go out. But then when I would actually be presented with the opportunity, I would be like, never mind. Let me just stay home and let me play NCAA football 14. I thought that was just a better use of my time. But what happened? Well, but what aerodynamic? What you got to understand is now the current climate when you're talking about post 20 post 2017 or post 2018, the mid Beckies that we got in high school, now they're not even looking at the average dudes no more. So you have like the average dudes, mid Beckies are not even looking for them. The overweight, the overweight women, the pogs, the mid Beckies, or the girls that we would consider a 3 and 4 in high school. Now all of those girls are aiming for the Henry Cavills, if you know what I mean, the Jason Momoas, right? These people, the Chris Hemsworths, they all think they could qualify for that guy. So now you got dudes growing up that have no shot. I'm talking about they have no shot. Like when we were in high school, we still had a shot with girls at our quote unquote level, right? On our quote unquote level. But now you have the mid Beckies now. They don't give average dudes a chance, dog. Carlos X said I peaked in middle school. I can relate to that. I'll say this. I would say I peaked sophomore year, or I can say junior year high school. That's kind of where I peaked at. And kind of continue back in well, I could say, college, freshman year college. But yeah, I'll say I got the most women freshman year college. But it basically like senior year of high school was like a wrap. I had no hoes senior year high school. Junior year, I didn't really know what was going on. Sophomore year, I didn't realize I had hoes, but I did. I didn't realize it. I didn't realize that certain girls had taken a liking to me until other people told me. The second, what's it, third party? I don't know. Oh man, hold on. Rocky said the Pauls are juiced up and fixing fights. I agree. That's what I think is going on with those brothers too. But I don't even make it a big deal because I don't really care about them like that. He said, so basically actually the problem and I skipped it. LMFAO, she went alone. Yo, I'll say this here. And if I say this story, people are gonna know who I am. If there's people from Connecticut in the chat, from the area I'm in. So freshman year in high school, a girl, this is what I swear this happened to me. I thought she was joking. It was a girl it was a senior. I don't know. I think she was a junior or a senior. It was a girl that was a junior or senior. She asked me to prom and I was a freshman. But I thought she was joking. But the girls literally came up, no, she wasn't joking. I was like, still no. I was like, dude, I was 14. I was 14. And I don't want to go off on her, looks or anything, because obviously I'm not perfect or anything. I just thought she was joking. I was like, I don't know what to do with that. And plus, I was 14. Like I said, when I was 14, white girls weren't my type at the time. They really weren't. I was just coming off of trying to recover from being in a friend zone from a girl that I really liked at the time. I wasn't expecting a girl that was damn near a senior or a junior that was already going out with somebody on my team, that was already smashing somebody on my varsity soccer team. For her to be like, "Do you want to go to prom with me?" I had no idea that was coming. This was a girl that she was already with somebody. This girl was already with somebody. I don't apparently I was like, what? So I was completely unprepared because that's not what I'm looking for at the time. Yeah, because prom, like I was ill, yeah, and then I would say the senior year, I didn't go to prom senior year. Something had happened to me I'm talking about off school campus, and it was sports related, and it put me in a deep depression where I was really contemplating. I'm like, damn, this is some bullshit. So nothing else even mattered. So I remember telling my friends, look, this was like before this event happened to me. I'm not gonna talk about the event because it was something had happened to me in my personal life that really put me out of the loop where I wasn't even like I was like just so depressed that I wasn't even thinking about no dancing because I remember telling them, "Oh, I'll go to the after party. I'll catch a ride or something." I was like, I remember I skipped the senior, yeah, I skipped the senior class trip, whatever, the Six Flags. And I skipped the prom because I was still thinking about something that had happened to me in my personal life, which I'm talking about it had nothing to do with a girl. Something happened in my personal life where I was out of it. So so by the time prom hit, I was like, oh, it's today. Well, I guess I can skip school today. That's what I took it as, and I slept in. I will say one of the biggest mistakes that I've ever did in my life is playing soccer in America. And I will just leave it at that. This basically is related to what happened to me in my personal life, where I was just out of it. And I would always advise dudes, live your life, go to prom, do the stuff. Don't let like the stuff that you had goals for, if the goals that you set for like your extracurricular activity doesn't work out, don't use that and just dwell on it. You know what I mean? And let that take you out of your mojo where you don't want to do nothing else. Don't do that. That was always my advice to other dudes. Don't let that take you out of your funk. Just go, do even if you don't want to go to the dances, go to the dances. Just experience something. Just for the experience. You never know. But I'll say this in terms of like one of the biggest mistakes I ever did was play soccer in America. And I'll just leave it at that. One of the biggest mistakes in my life. Anyway, so I was a mid Becky specialist for 2 decades until the pandemic. Facts. Yeah, before well, I'll say this, low key dating got better for me post 2020. Post 2020 dating got a lot better for me. But that was because I figured out that thug maxing works. That's a whole nother story for another day. He said Becky and Stacy, so you guys have a hierarchy of 304. Yeah, stuff is different in America. But yeah, like most of the problems that I had in high school had nothing to do with girls. People be shocked when I say that. It had stuff to do with other things. That is like, you'll be like, huh, you had these problems? I would have never thought. Yeah. Like most of the problems that I had, like talking about high school and college, had nothing to do with bitches. Absolutely nothing with 304s. Let me play the video. I don't know if I can fast
Stairs to the fourth floor in this building.
That's another thing, y'all. Women don't be wanting to hear how fine they are and how pretty you are. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to.
I still think you're the most beautiful woman in the world. And so I thought that it would be cool to come to this very spot where I first met you. Yeah. And my name.
Oh man.
Here we go.
Boys.
and say,
Oh boys. Hold on, wait. Y'all gotta see this. Wait. So you can tell she don't want to marry this man. The first thing she said is "old boys." That's the first thing she said. Old.
I want you to hear the commentary from my brother here because he's spot on. Pedro's thoughts. I'm not subscribed to this man, but maybe I should subscribe to him later on. We'll see. But listen to my brother here. Listen to my brother here.
Boys. Now, a female that want to marry somebody, bro, is that gonna be her first reaction when this man get down on his knees? Oh boys. Look at her shirt, y'all. Look what her shirt say.
If this is the reaction that you're getting, like I said, it's not even supposed to be when you propose. It's a matter of where should I do it to make sure it looks good. Because it should already be known. It should already be known that she's going to say yes.
Come on, man.
next, see, will you marry me?
Listen, look, y'all.
Let me make sure I did it right.
She ain't even happy. She ain't happy.
Like, yeah. So I don't know if you can, because I can't find a full video. But if you guys can find a full video, and a lot of people have done full reactions to it, video reactions to this, you'll see like Boyce Watkins. He even starts crying himself. It's really sad. That shit is sad, dog. That shit is sad. Oh man, why do I feel bad for my brother here, man? Anyway, since we have how many people we got in the chat? We got some people in the chat. Oh wow. See, I don't really date anymore. Focus on the bag. That's the mentality that I had in high school. Low key. I was just all pure business, trying to make sure I don't get in trouble. Let me see. Yeah, it should be a formality at that point. But let's bring up Andrew Tate. Since because we had some people in the chat. So let's bring up the main event. It is 2:00. Let's bring up the tweet. Because I already told you, I'm not a big fan of Andrew Tate. Low key, I think he's done. People might disagree with me, but I don't really think guys like Andrew Tate, Just Pearly, Fresh and Fit, who else? These people, I don't think they're great representatives of this space. Right. And I have my reasons behind that, because particularly when normies, when you hear normies complaining about, oh, the so-called red pill man, and it'd be like, and you'll ask them, okay, can you give me an example of quote unquote bad people in the red pill space? They'd be like, oh, Andrew Tate, and they always say the same people, Andrew Tate, Just Pearly, and blah. I'm like, oh, we're dealing with normies here. We're dealing with normies here. And it's always interesting when anytime you're like part of a space, right? And the people that go mainstream is always the people that you don't think like you. I would never thought Kevin Samuels would be the one that would really take this space to the whole nother level. Because I've watched Kevin Samuels in 2018, 2017. 2019. I still remember Kevin Samuels' reaction video to when Ayesha Curry said what she said about wanting male attention from other dudes. I still remember those videos. I still remember O'Shea Duke Jackson like promoting guys like Obsidian, right? Kevin Samuels. I remember these guys used to all be in that same light, But anyway, Andrew Tate has had a lot of things, and a lot of things is not that I don't like Andrew Tate. It's just the fanboys are pretty annoying. But Andrew Tate has said something about white people in general or in particular, and it's been making the rounds. And I'll just say this: white people are going crazy via Twitter. But I saw this tweet and I took it another way. And by the way, if white people don't like this tweet, from Andrew Tate that are fans of Andrew Tate, and now they don't want to associate with Andrew Tate. I'm about to say you guys owe Undead Chronic and Hammerhand and these people an apology for this to be the final straw for you to not support Andrew Tate anymore. I'm like, bruh. Out of all the stuff he said, this is the final straw, bruh. Particularly, you know, the TradCon white dudes. For this to be the final straw, that's funny. Anyway, so here we're gonna read Andrew Tate's tweet. We're gonna read Andrew Tate's tweet here. He says, "Dear white men, you're fucked. You're being replaced because none of you have children. Even those of you bitching about the replacement online like little girls don't find the gumption to fuck. I see white men bragging about having 5 kids as if it's an achievement. LOL, 5 per year, right? Oh, all you white boys lost control of your women, and now they won't accept multiple wives anymore. Now they tell you they don't want any more kids. One's enough. Now, I'll say this before I continue on to this tweet. Everything he said was right. Just to let's keep it a buck. Everything he just said was right. Now let me continue. Let me continue. He says they don't want to do their God-given job anymore. Now they want Instagram likes instead. So your genetic potential is stumped by the whims of some singular female, a female who takes 9 whole months to grow a single baby. Other races have multiple ovens for bread. We're not cucked. Some bitch is screaming at you about loyalty and you're sitting there saying, yes, baby. Jerking off to porn when she's asleep or maybe cheating with the side bitch condom on. And what he's saying so far, those are facts. Remember, I showed you 90% of male OnlyFans users are, 90% of OnlyFans users are men, are married men. 90%. So now we already know when it comes to porn in general, and they even broke it down by race. They said like 65% of those married men were white men. So, and when he's saying white men, I know he's talking about race, but I low-key just look at it as he's talking about mainstream society men, most average men. That's how I'm taking it, even though he is clearly talking about white dudes, but he's talking about the majority. When you're talking about Australia, USA, Australia, the UK, and the USA. So continuing on. Oh no, I couldn't get another woman pregnant. My wife would kill me. Total fucking losers. Soon your race will be nothing more than a few pages in the history book, a lesson on what happens when you fuck the female psyche so hard they're obsessed with money and social media, as opposed to being one of many baby factories for a king. 30 children minimum for the Dons. White people, go talk to your best friend wife about what to do this weekend. Maybe you can take a nice walk around IKEA, enjoy extinction. Now, before people say Andrew Tate's wrong for saying what he's saying, I will say this. Look at Nick Cannon. Look at Future. Look at Elon Musk. Look at Eddie Murphy. Have you guys been noticing you're seeing like there are certain celebrities or certain men with money, certain men with genetic advantages? They be having mad kids. Now, it's not with one woman, it's with multiple women, and obviously they're women have their other motives on why they have multiple kids with different men, or they let certain men, or they keep certain men's kids. But it's lit right now. You're having women that are like they're just straight up just saying, "No, I'm not having your kid, and one is enough." What's happening right now? You're having particularly white women. They're marrying way too late. Like back in the day, women, particularly white women, would literally marry at like 19, 18 years old. Like the average age would be like 20, 21 years old that white women would marry. Now, white women marry at like 29 years old, 30 years old, in their late 30s. I'm sorry, earlier late 30s, going on having to use IVF treatment if they want more than one kid, or they'll say, I'm only having one kid and that's it. I'm not doing that to my body and all this nonsense. So right now, white people are not procreating at replacement level. And I touched this on my last live stream. And I don't understand why, particularly tradcon men, they do not get this. They do not get this. They don't understand. I'm like, guys, the way America was built, America is built off of cheap labor, but you need workers to maintain that. Now you have, I'm talking about white dudes, white people in general are not procreating at replacement level. They're declining. Their race is declining, right? And we're talking about American. Well, let's stick to America, right? And maybe like let's stick to America and Australia, right, or the UK. You know, these or any first world feminist led countries, right? Their populations are declining, but you have countries like USA where corporations run these countries, and corporations like these big ass, my bad, giant corporations, they need workers. This is why they're letting the immigrants come through, because it's only brown people that seem to be procreating. The Indians, when we're talking about the Indians, when we're talking about the Africans, when we're talking about but particularly the Mexicans and the Indians and the Africans, right? But particularly just really Mexicans and Central Americans in general, they're procreating. They're making babies. So they're letting them come through. This is why I don't like people really think that the solution is mass deportation. It's too late for that shit. You already have kids that grew up in immigrant families that are now in positions of office. They're in positions of power. They have they're mayors, they're senators. It's too late for that shit. You know what I mean? And you can think that by targeting these people or the people that you think are immigrants, that it's going to help your case. It doesn't do anything. Your women don't want to give you babies. And you'll have these particularly the tradcon simps. They fight this way too hard. I'm gonna give you guys an example because I talked about this one of my last live streams. I talked about this. Oh, before I get into that point, let me address some of these chats. He said they're more just sources of entertainment. Most of these well-known ones take their takes with a mountain. So yeah, exactly. Like when it comes to he is engagement farming to the extreme here. But I've seen Tate make tweets like this really when in regards to all races. Like I remember people were calling Andrew Tate a Uncle Tom. People remember when people were calling Andrew Tate a white supremacist not too long ago, and I'm like, well, you do know Andrew Tate is mixed. Remember when people were calling Andrew Tate a white supremacist because of his takes on race or on like George Floyd and these things? But people remember, like he would go on these shows and women would call Andrew Tate a white supremacist because of his skin complexion, but people didn't realize he actually has a black father. You know what I mean? So he always would have takes similar to this. I've never really seen him make a take on white people in general. even though I don't really see what he's saying that's extreme in this case, but yeah, Andrew Tate, he is that's what you call engagement farming. That's engagement farming. He is definitely doing that, but he's always done this stuff like this. Oh, what's up, Angel? He said, "Moors shall rebreathe." So, Rocky, I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna get to because I don't know. I'm pretty sure you were in my Rocky said, like we did in 711 AD. That's what's gonna. So this is what I'm getting into. Because a lot of the trad cons, what they like to do, what I've been noticing, and you probably heard me say this last stream when I used this example. The Italian prime minister, right? That the trad cons love to lift in the air. She's a woman, right? But she's doing a lot of quote unquote based things, dropping a lot of quote unquote based policies. And I was like, well, Italy's a dying nation. And so I was trying to tell people, and I'm like, Italy's a dying nation. They're gonna have to let immigrants in eventually. And they already are, right? And once it happens, they're going to act like they don't understand what's going on at the border crisis at the border. They're going to be like, I don't understand how are these people getting in? We need to drop policies, but these people here are blocking me from dropping the policies to protect you. That's all an act. Italy is a dying nation. They're letting the Africans come through, right? And you're gonna see people look, they're destroying our country. Look, it's either they destroy your country or you guys die out. This, they either quote unquote destroy your country or right, dude. And I was making the joke in that last stream, dude. In 10 years, 5 to 10 years from now, you're gonna see a lot of ninjas on the Italian football national team. It's not gonna be how it used to be, where it was just like Balotelli one time and they'll like Mazzichini one time, but it'll be like one black player on the Italian team. No, you're gonna see like 3 or 4 black people on the Italian national team in the future because they're going to let immigrants come through. And one of the main, there's obviously a lot of reasons behind that besides cheap labor and blah, blah, blah. But one of the main reasons why this is happening is because white people are not replacing themselves. They're not procreating. And white men have completely lost control of white women. Completely. They don't want, like, the average white woman does not want kids with the average white man anymore. So you have that going on. Guys, these corporations that they built these apartments, these houses. They're the people in charge, the elite people in charge. They're not going to take a loss. They're going to be like, look, open up the borders. We need help. This is how it works. The border crisis, quote unquote, border crisis in and of itself, them acting like people are fighting at their behest, or Orange Man is going to save the day on that end. He's still going to let people come across because white people are not procreating. They're not. And then you'll have like the one white, got these trad cons marrying these bitches at 31, 32 and can barely get one kid out, and they think they're doing damage. Just let me analyze this tweet for you real quick. One more time. Carlos X said Elon Musk is nerd Genghis Khan right now. Because you see, like, now the average broad, they're gonna let Elon Musk shoot up the club. Why? Because they know they can get some money out of it. And mind you, they're not gonna be going through no quote unquote postpartum depression, which is a myth. postpartum psychosis and all this stuff, which is a myth, in my opinion. I've done streams on that. That's a myth. Y'all be letting the mainstream society lets mainstream women get away with murder. Absolute murder. But like I said, when these people of value impregnate these women, all of a sudden they don't all of a sudden they postpartum depression goes away. Postpartum psychosis goes away. All former Moorish nations are dying without us. Rocky is saying, yeah. So all these countries, Spain, France, Portugal, Italy. You know what I mean? Like these are dying countries, but particularly we talking about Spain. These they're not white people are not replacing itself. They're not, and you can blame that on immigrants and blah blah blah. No, this is the causes of feminism, leftist policies by mainstream society women, particularly Caucasian women. That's not on the immigrants, bro. Like I said, they're letting the immigrants come through. People really think that the people on the right hand side. Now, obviously, the people on the left hand side, they're just trying to destroy the country no matter what. But do you think people on the right hand side, you think that they don't know what's going on? Like I said, just the fact that we had that it's the biggest debate right now, the border crisis. That's a sham. The people up top, they already know what's happening. They're letting they are letting people across. One of the main reasons why is because particularly white women, they don't want to have kids no more. All of them talking about I need to be paid for unpaid domestic labor. I'm like, so this is where I gotta call white dudes up in accountability. I'm like, can y'all get y'all hoes under control? But they already lost the plot in that end because they're like white women are just doing whatever the hell they want to do. They don't want to produce kids. They don't want to do the one thing that they're here to do. And they're mad at immigrants. You don't even realize the immigrants, they're just pawns. They're pawns. Why do you think they're getting these motherfuckers? They don't even have to qualify for the job that they're going to get. They need these people in the workforce because especially the low-end jobs, these low-end jobs, AI can't replace everything. You know what I mean? It's cheap, and on top of that, it's cheaper. And on top of that, white people don't even want to do those jobs. So of course they're going to. I don't know why people can't don't get this, but that's what I took from this tweet. Now, I'll say this. If I showed this story to a smart thinking person, right? It's very plausible because I'm pretty sure Andrew Tate has kids, if I'm not mistaken, or Tristan Tate has kids, but but I think they're both in a situation that they have kids. They both have kids outside of wedlock with like two different women, if I'm not mistaken. So they're probably just covering up for that. You know. So that's also another angle to it. See, Lorette said feminism did that here in the US and recently parts of Asia. And don't even get me started on the black women, because even the what you call the FBAs are not, when you talk about the foundational black Americans, they're not replacing they're not having kids. Well, it's not that, well, sorry, they're killing their kids. The most dangerous place for a FBA black boy to be is in the womb of an FBA black woman in 2024, because the way the abortion rates in the black community is atrocious. It's absolutely atrocious. So I'm talking about, you have white race not procreating. You have the FBAs, right? The Foundational Black Americans. They're not procreating. And if they are, they get killed in the mother's womb, right? All these people now that you see that have these positions of power, these were kids of families of immigrants, a lot of them. Whether they be from the Caribbean, whether they be from Mexico, whether they be from another country in Africa, right? Whether they be from overseas. The people, particularly white women, they don't want to have kids with the average white man. So now the only people that I'd be seeing having kids, American couples that I see consistently having kids, are like mixed couples. Like if it's like white dude, black woman, or black man, white dude, or black dude, fat white woman. Those are the only people I see making kids that are American. I'm talking about multiple kids, many kids, right? So this is what's happening right now. He said when they were at hell empires back in the 17th, they turned pro-life on you. Poor whites too. That's an intro, because when it comes to the poor whites, look, in my opinion, what I've been seeing from the poor whites, particularly poor white women, they're not procreating with other poor white men a lot of the times. And if they are, it's some weirdo stuff going on. Chris, can you just say black man? You just said black man, white dude. Oh, I didn't mean to say that. I don't. If I did say, I didn't. I meant to say the only couples that you see is mixed couples in general, heterosexual couples. If I said white dude, I apologize. But I see I see a lot of black dudes, fat white women making kids like crazy. That's what I see a lot of. But anyway, let's look at the normie responses. Now, so they said readers added context. Fertility rates have been falling in all parts of the world amongst all races, which is true. That is true. But the only ones that seem to be still continuing are brown people in general. So right here, you'll have the normie responses right here. White people from the UK are going to respond like the normies that I think they are. So right here, you say, but it's okay for you to have 5 wives and have sex with family members and grape and hurt women. So I'm like, oh, so now y'all taking those allegations to heart just because he said that. Really? He said this entire tweet is absolute gibberish. Let's see here. Somebody said we shouldn't have to outbreed the third world. They should get out of our homelands and let us sort our own problems. But thanks for the concern. But like I said, I don't think this is probably a younger man. He doesn't understand. First of all, just in general, poor people usually outbreed rich people in general. Just in general. So you already have that going for you. Then on top of that, in terms of saying get out of our homelands, it's too late. It's too late. There's too many people that came from families that came from out of the country that are in positions of power, especially when you're talking about political offices. You got these people got freaking prime ministers, congressmen, members of the council, right? all coming from immigrant families and stuff like that, all coming from places from India, right? You know, let me see. But it's interesting though because because I don't know if people remember when like Andrew Tate would say certain things like, which was true when he would talk about the George Floyd, or how racism is not that bad in America compared to other places in the world. Or like I remember Andrew Tate would he would have his take when he would say that officers were actually right in racially profiling certain people from different people. They didn't have a problem when he said that, which he was right about that, in terms of how cops profile people. Well, people don't understand cops. They just they serve rich people. They don't really serve poor people in general. So they try to see who they can get away with. Let me see. That's hilarious. But yeah, oh yeah, and here's another thing, because I mentioned the Italian prime minister, because there were a lot of people talking about how base she was and blah blah blah. And I remember somebody in the comment section like, well, if she's so base, how many kids do she got? And for some reason, then you had the people came back, and the dude was like, she has 3 kids, she's done her part. And I was like, 3 kids? And the guy replied back, he said, 3 kids? Those are rookie numbers. He said, those are rookie numbers, man. 3 kids. Those are rookie numbers. Anybody watch The Wolf of Wall Street when he asked him how many times he jerked off a week? He's like, those are rookie numbers. Those are rookie numbers. I don't think people understand the amount of kids white people, or really mainstream society, had back in the day. I don't even want to say white people. I want to say mainstream society. Do you know how many kids they used to have back in the day? They used to literally have, it used to be not, it used to be very common. I don't know how to say this. How about this? I'll say it like this. It wasn't uncommon back in the days when you're talking about the 30s and 20s, and really throughout the history of time. It was not uncommon to see a white woman with like 8 kids, just in general. Like they'll have like 6 or 7 kids minimum 6 kids minimum. It was very common to see white families 6 to 7 kids, and it was pretty. And look, it wasn't uncommon to see back in the day, to see a woman with plus 10 kids, over 10 kids. It wasn't. This is what people don't understand. Like this shit here, where we got these women here talking about, all right, 1 kid is enough. Back then, these people were having 10 plus kids. Anybody, I was about, oh, thank you. Thank you, Carlos. I was about to talk about my family. Dude, everybody, just talk to your grandma or your grandpa if they're still alive, right? Because my grandpa, my grandpa and grandma on my dad's side, they passed away recently. And then you had, I'm talking about, they had mad kids. Just ask if you have grandparents or great grandparents that are still alive, ask them how many kids or how many brothers and sisters they had. And you got these trad cucks talking about, she had 3 kids, she did her part. 3 kids are rookie numbers, bro. 3 kids are rookie numbers. Man, my dude, on my mom's side, so the grandpa and grandma on my mom's side, they had, I think, 9 kids? I think, yeah, my mom had like 8 siblings, 7 siblings, minimum. Like 7 siblings that I know of. And they like adopted other kids or not adopted. They would take care of other people's kids as well sometimes on my mom's side, and that was like a small family from where where my mom was from. And then on my dad's side, my grandpa had. I don't even want to tell you the number. I don't even want to tell you the number when I'm talking about my dad's side. When I'm talking about my dad's dad, I don't even want to mention the number. People can be like, "What?" I'm gonna tell you that is way more than 10. Way more than 10 kids. Anyway. Oh man. Man. Yo, this is the okay. Thank you, Aerodynamic. He said trad cucks will blame everyone except themselves and their women. They will never hold themselves accountable, and they will never help. And most importantly, they never hold their woman accountable, ever. They will never do that. They will never hold their woman accountable. They don't hold their daughters accountable. They treat their daughters like princesses to the max. They'll talk all that shit, and then they'll still send their daughters off to college and then wonder why they're coming back liberal. I'm like, you literally sent them to the enemy's camp. You got these so-called trad cons, right? They still send their kids to public school knowing what's going on. But they bro, take your kids out of public school. Tell your so-called tradcon wife that is career driven, tell her to drop that bullshit ass job and raise the kids at home. I know plenty of women that have done that, and they don't call themselves tradcon, quote unquote tradcon wives. They just did it. But these bitches want to, they like to act like there's something that they're not. Angel said back then they used to have armies of kids. People don't understand. I'm talking about if a woman came out back in the day talking about, oh, I have 3 kids, it's like, oh, you just getting started. That's how it was back in the day. Like 3 kids, that's it. You getting started. That's I'm talking about that's rookie numbers back in the day. 3 kids. Like the dudes they brought it up as a trump card. Like, look, she already has 3 kids, so she's pregnant. I'm like, man, 3 kids, those are rookie numbers, bro. Rookie numbers. You see, look, I want people to look in the chat. Look in the chat, guys. People talking about their grandmothers and mom. They had 10. Aerodynamic said my grandma had 10 kids, no C-sections. Same on same on both of my both of my sides. By the way, like what's in my dad's dad, he had kids with multiple women. Like he had like a whole tribe. He had kids with multiple women. And then my grandmother on my mom's side, she had I think she had 1 or 2 kids before she met my grandfather. So she already had, I don't remember what happened to her first mate. I don't know if they broke up or if he died. I don't know what happened, but she had 2 kids before having like 7 kids with my grandfather. So yeah, that's like that used to be, man. Carlos X said my grandmother had 6 and 8 kids respectively. That was common back then. And and Carlos, not just I know what you're trying to say though. I'm talking about this was really across all races. It was common to have at least 5 kids. 5 was like a low number. 5 kids was a low number. And you got these tradcons they thinking they doing damage with their one or 2 kids. The one kid that they had out of IVF because they so-called met their so-called traditional wife at the age of 33. Hey, yo, man, you can't make this stuff up. V said both my grandparents had 5 kids each. Oh man. He said one of my grandfathers had 10 plus kids due to having multiple families. Yeah, same on my dad's side. Rest in peace. You know what I mean? But this was man, motherfuckers had babies back then. This motherfucker talking about 3 kids. 3 kids. Oh man, Pearl Davis said my dad had 7 and adopted 3. Should I tell him he's a failure? Oh yeah, by the way, I'm not a fan of Pearly at all, but Pearly has been proven, basically single-handedly proving on Twitter that these so-called tradcon women are just pretty feminists. You know, this is this is always I always tell people most women are feminists in general. Most women are feminists. But if you want to tell a liberal from a conservative, right? Meaning I like to call them a conservative feminist from a liberal feminist. You can tell if a feminist is liberal or conservative. If she's pretty, she's a conservative feminist. If she's ugly and she got all that those rings and the green hair, you know what I mean, red hair, then she's a liberal. If she's a pretty, presentable looking woman, that means she's a conservative feminist. So if she's pretty, conservative. If she looking a little bit wacky or she's just ugly in general, she's a liberal. That's how it works. That's how it works. Oh, also, Andrew Tate had dropped a video. His name. Oh, okay. Also, let me tell you something. This guy here. Actually, let me leave Nick Griffin alone. Let me leave Nick Griffin alone. Because not a whole lot of people are versed on the British conservatives and these people. Let me leave that guy alone. Let me leave that guy alone. Anyway, let me look at because he Andrew Tate had dropped a response video to the traffic that he got from the tweet. So he's going to respond. Him and his brother, Tristan Tate, are going to talk about Andrew's tweet. Now, did anything that Tate say, is he lying? That's the thing. Now, this is interesting because I think this is the first Andrew Tate segment that I've covered on a live stream ever. Really, I think. I remember covering when those allegations came against Andrew Tate on him being a so-called human trafficker, but I didn't even go over the actual case. All I was trying to tell people was, guys, what happened to Andrew Tate can happen to you. And I was trying to tell the Andrew Tate fanboys at the time, look, a lot of you guys are hypocrites, particularly the British fanboys of Andrew Tate, because there are a lot of black footballers, a lot of black athletes over in England that have been suffering from false allegations for years. And you guys have done nothing about it, but you guys would make fun of these guys. You would make memes, all that shit you would do. And now when it happens to your favorite guy, now we got to stop the presses. Now we got to do investigations and we got to clear his. And I was like, nah, guys, it's too late. Because of your jealousy of certain footballers or certain athletes, you let women write the narrative on what trafficking is. Now all your heroes are in trouble. All of your heroes. So now Andrew Tate talking about this specifically, he's not wrong. If you ask the average white woman, we literally have clips. We do clips on this channel showing women literally they don't want kids. Really, all women in general, they're saying they don't want kids, but particularly white women, they're spearheading this movement of, look, we don't want kids. unless if I'm getting paid this, I got to get paid that, or it's getting ridiculous. Now, there are side effects to not procreating at replacement level. This is where immigration comes in. People just think it's just a moral issue. No, because you're just not replacing. When you're not replacing at replacement level, those companies, they want to still stay there. They're not going to take a loss. They're not going to take a loss. So they're going to allow these immigrants to come through. And people that don't pay attention to British politics, it's like I'm talking about most of the people in these high positions in England, Scotland, they're they're, they're not native. They're not natives. These are products of immigrants or products of people that literally came from another country and came to England or Scotland or Ireland, right? Northern Ireland. People don't, so that whole stuff of we're gonna mass deport. No, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. It's too late for that. And like I said, the one of the things that I've noticed, particularly from Caucasian tradcons, they're very late to the party. They're always they seem to always be late to the party. They're very slow. Now, for the people that I don't understand why white people are having problems with Andrew Tate saying this when Jesse Lee Peterson was just recently on, I think, Dr. Phil's show, and Jesse Lee Peterson literally said the same thing. Jesse Lee Peterson said, look, white people need to reproduce. White people need to have more babies. That's what he said. Now, you can blame that on ninjas or policy, feminist. The women need to want to have kids. The white women don't want to have kids with the average white dude no more. So what can we do about that? What can we do about that? Oh no, not today. Because 3:00. Oh yeah, I would like on a topic like this, I would have dropped the StreamYard link. But I already know because I'm only doing this early today because I know tonight I'm not gonna have no time. Tonight I'm gonna have no time. 3:00 Champions League is on. Right after that, I'm gonna do soccer. Right after that, I'm gonna start practicing all night. I'm not gonna have no time. I'm gonna have zero time, and then I'm just gonna have my uploads. So once it hits, like literally, once it hits 3:00, I'm out. I'll AJ said, okay, I just wanted to chat for like 5 minutes, but it's cool. Yeah, it's my bad. It's just I'm on a strict time schedule today. Because usually when I'm not on a strict time schedule, I don't stream this early. Because I was actually supposed to stream at 12:00, but I overslept. I went back. I set up the stream. I was like, let me take a quick 1-hour nap, turn into a 2-hour nap. You know what I mean? But because I want to have a panel one day with AJ, Reaper, and Red Pill Vegeta. If I can get Red Pill Vegeta on my stream one day, that would be crazy. And then maybe have Angel, Pyro, you guys from AJ's crew come through on the chat. But I would really love to see, because there's this guy Reaper. I don't know if he has his own channel, but he thinks because we're from the same Corey Holcomb clan. the 5150 we're 5150 chat goon products, even though I'm more of a DJ Star Troll Baby product as well, but I'm from the Troll Baby era, so I'm well versed in that. But he's from that 5150 chat room. I would like to hear your ideas go through, because Reaper's not necessarily somebody that would say he's RP, but what people don't understand, a lot of these ideas that people like to talk about, Corey Holcomb has been talking about this shit for decades now. Like literally decades. Patrice O'Neal talked about this stuff decades. Let me see. There aren't to talk about women's sexual freedom. They're not the trad cons will not address the elephant in the room. They want to talk what they want. What this is what trad cons. This is what I found out that trad cons. This is what they really want to talk about. They want to talk about what ninjas are fucking, and what there's literally these pages literally dedicated to ninjas doing crimes and stuff like. It's just like you're just. I'm talking about their whole page is what ninjas is doing. And I'm like, what is this? World Star Hip Hop or a TradCon page? I'm literally like, why go on worldstarhiphop.com? If you could just go on the average white TradCon dude's page and them talking about what ninjas are doing and white woman, single white woman producing bastard kids with ninjas. I could just go on their page. I don't even need to go on worldstarhiphop.com. Talking about rent free. Like, and the problem is actually they can fix it, but they don't want to address their woman. They don't want to address their woman. They're afraid of their woman. And this is really the problem. I remember the comedian. Any of you guys know the comedian Mark Norman? I think that's his name. Mark Norman. Let me see if I can remember his name. Mark Norman, the comedian, because he had an interesting take when it came to Jada Pinkett Smith. And what I loved about his take, he was just saying, look, right now, the epidemic, the problem that we have in our society is we have a lot of dudes out here. And he said, this is why Will Smith slapped Chris Rock, because we have an epidemic of men that are afraid of their wife. And this is, and he said, this is a man that's suffering from his wife. And this is really a problem that people don't want to talk about. And I was like, shout out to you, Mark Norman. Thank you for saying that. Angel said, I have a campaign to run. I got to download that soundbite. I got to download that soundbite for you, just for you, Angel. I got to download that soundbite too. Because I'd vote for you. But this is why I don't. Because there's a lot of people that I would vote for in general to fix things. But then I'll say, why can I? This is how I know my vote doesn't matter in general. Even like for mayor. They'd be like, no, these are your options. I'm like, but I thought no, these are your options. But this is your free. I'm like, but don't I have the freedom to choose? Oh, okay. Never mind. I'll just go home. So AJ says Tate is right though, but the issue is they are calling all European countries as white. I think what he means, I think he's talking about the ones that are like really feminist centric. So we were talking about Sweden, Norway, right? Scotland, these places that are now being overrun by immigrants, quote unquote, overrun by immigrants. But the reason why they're being overrun by immigrants is because they're letting the immigrants come through because white people are not replacing themselves. So like countries like that. So I don't. He's talking about countries like England, right? These countries, right? I don't think he's talking about Croatia, right? Or Slovakia or Serbia. You know. I don't think he's talking about those countries. Even though technically they count too, because some of those countries, their numbers fluctuate. Their numbers fluctuate, but their numbers have always fluctuated. Because these part we talking about Serbia, you talk about the Bosnians and these like, or we talk about I don't want to say the two countries' name, but it's over the R and a U. Their numbers always fluctuate because the regions are always in turmoil. Those are some hood ass countries, low key. People don't understand. Like a white person from America and a white person from Serbia are two different people. That's another thing people don't. A lot of people, particularly ninjas, they don't understand that. The way you talk to a white person in America is not how you talk to a white person from Bosnia, right? Or um Slovakia. You know, I've said that on my channel many times. He said French people. Oh, France is too late, homie. Without AJ, if France never accepted immigrants, France would have never won any of their World Cups. First of all, it's too late. It's too late for France. That's AJ. France, it's been one, bro. They would have had won none of their World Cups without immigrants. Do I need to show people the France squads? Let me show you the 1998 France World Cup squad picture. So right here. Let me show you the 1998 World Cup winning squad. Open image in new tab. So right here, I'm going to show you in this starting lineup, Zidane, Algeria. Why I'm blanking on his name? Shit, I'm blanking on his name, but he's from somewhere else. He's I don't know. He's no, he's native France. He's him. I think Suriname or somewhere else. Him somewhere else. These two native France. Somewhere else. With Didier Deschamps, I'm not sure. Desais. That's what I don't know why I was blinking on his name. Desais, somewhere else. So, like I said, immigrant. These two I don't remember. Immigrant. That's a 1998 France World Cup right here. Now let me show you the 2018 World Cup winners. Right? Let's see. World Cup. Because people will be shocked. People are going to be shocked when I show you these people. The picture. Let me show you guys how this works. Let me show you how this stuff works, man. I'm gonna open up another image real quick. Okay. Pogba. If I'm not mistaken, it's not Senegal, but it's somewhere in I'm blank. Guinea. But let me Guinea. Him, I don't know, but he's immigrant. Lucas Hernandez, immigrant. I'm talking about Lucas Hernandez and his brother, Theo Hernandez. Their father is from Spain. Varane, immigrant family. Giroud, I don't remember. Lloris, native France. Mbappe, his father's from Cameroon. Conte, immigrant. Pavard, native. Matuidi, immigrant. Griezmann, immigrant. If I'm not mistaken, his family's from Portugal or Spain. I forgot which one it was, but I think it's Portugal. Dude, without immigrants, France would have won none of their World Cups, bro. Hey, yo, man. It's too late for that shit. AJ, as soon as he said France, I'm like, bro, it's too late for that. It's too late for that. Angel said, "I'm honored." I know what you're talking about. The soundbite. I'll think about getting that soundbite. People try to look at Europe through the American racial and ethnic lens, and it's not the same. But it's too late. It's too late for that. Look at the Netherlands soccer team. You look at the Netherlands soccer team, especially right now. The Netherlands soccer team is all niggas on there. It's all niggas on that team, bro. It's too late. It's too late to quote unquote keep things pure. It's too late for that shit. It's too late for that. And AJ said there's nothing wrong with homogenous country wanting to promote their own people. This is true, but it's too late because about particularly the white people in their countries these, particularly in these feminist led countries, they don't want kids. They don't want to do what they're put on earth to do. They don't want to do that no more. They don't want to do that no more. The German team, full of immigrants, full of Turkish talent. Germany, full of Turkish talent. They're French, German. Yeah, Germany, same thing. Germany, same thing. It's too late to. It's too late for that. Or their soccer teams, football teams. Their football teams wouldn't be worth shit without immigrants. So it's too late. It's too late, especially when you're talking about France. France, this is what they do in France. They literally go to these African ninjas and just literally be like, look, you speak French? Okay, we'll just give you a citizen. You can play right away with our team. That's how they work. If you can play, they'll just give you citizenship right away. All you got to do is be able to speak French or come from one of these African countries that can already speak French. That's the dude. So how many people? Let me show the 2018 World Cup winning squad. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's more than half of your starting lineup. Product of immigrant families. More than half. That's 8 out of 12. That's 8 out of 12. Hold on for a sec. 2018 World Cup roster. Let's see. Let me see the England. Same thing. It's too late for that. It's too late for that. Let me see for World Cup roster. Do they have the full roster? Let's see. Do they got the full roster? Do they? Let me see if they got the full rosters from 2018. Do they got? Oh, God damn it! Do they have it? It's too late for that. And you're starting to see it with Spain too. You're starting to see more black players on Spain. Like this is why I'm usually so ahead of the game, because all you got to do is watch soccer to see what's going on. So right here. So that's out of 23, because you got 23 players per squad. So that's, let me see, that's 1. Yeah, Presnel Kipembe, immigrant. Rafael Moran, immigrant. Umtiti, immigrant. Pogba, immigrant. Griezmann, immigrant. Lamar, Thomas Lamar, immigrant. Kylian Mbappe, his father was an immigrant. Played French football, so I don't know, but I'll still count that as I'll still count that. Immigrant. Dembele, immigrant. Tolisso, immigrant. Kante, immigrant. Matuidi, immigrant. Nzonzi, immigrant. Mandanda, definitely immigrant. Rami, immigrant. Nabil Fekir, he's supposed to be playing for Algeria. He's supposed to be playing for Algeria. He decided to change the nationality to France. That happens to a lot of the Moroccan players that end up changing to France. A lot of Algerians turn to France. Fekir, immigrant. Sidibe, immigrant. Though then, I don't know. I've never really looked at his background. But Lucas Hernandez, him and his brother, immigrant. Mendy, immigrant. Areola, immigrant. So that's out of the squad. Let me see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 out of the 23 motherfuckers on the squad. 19 out of the 23 motherfuckers on the squad. Immigrants. And I'm not making this stuff up. Trust me. I'm not making this stuff up. Oh, he said Belarus made it illegal for women to not have babies. I'll have to look into that, because Belarus did some interesting moves during the pandemic. They made some interesting moves that I was impressed by. So is Germany, so is Sweden. People always group them together like whites are grouped together in the US. Yeah, you know. But like I said, you can't really tell anymore the difference. You can go by the last names, you know what I mean? But if you go by last names, just off the France team alone, you're not going to be able to tell. Aerodynamics says Afghanistan and Belarus are the only countries taking women rights away. Yeah, I'll say this: they're smart to do that. It might be too little, too late, because everybody got that damn iPhone. But I like the laws that Saudi Arabia have. I like the laws that Saudi Arabia have, man. Oh yeah, Thierry Henry, legend, immigrant, immigrant family. I'm talking about, especially you talk about Paris or the suburbs of Paris. They got some of the nastiest footballers, street foot players that played in the street. All of them immigrant families. Those are the best football players from France. Damn near all of them from Paris, right? Or in the suburbs or in the country parts of outside of Paris, and they'll come together to play street football, and that's how they iron sharpens iron, and that's why France continues to produce the best players. That's why I don't understand why. Well, if America actually ran shit the right way when it came to soccer, they could be. I'm not saying they'd be close to France, but they'd be up there. They'd be up there. But with that stupid ass pay to play system that we got in America, where basically it only takes the best rich players. You know what I mean? Yo, they they doing my man dirty. That's dirty, man. That's dirty. That's dirty. But anyway, it is 3:10. It is 3:10. I do have to sign off on this. We'll look at a couple comments real quick. It's not an emergency, but I do have to sign off. Okay. I'll say this. Let's look at this. We're gonna sign off on this. We're gonna leave it off this tweet. Look at this tweet right here. You see, a lot of people are afraid to talk about what it really is. You know, you know, people got to understand what the problem is. Just look at the tweet, man. Just look at the tweet. And like I said, a lot of people's favorite track cons, they're part of the small hat crowd. So, like I said, they're part of the problem. And all Tate is saying is, look, you guys got to somehow convince your woman to want to have your kids. And I'll say this, and this might be controversial, and I'll leave it off at this. This might be controversial. Man, shout out to you guys. This might be controversial, but I'm going to sign off with this. A woman's biggest fear is not grape. It's her having to produce with somebody that she got tricked into reproducing with, or she found out she reproduced with somebody that she would never have any business reproducing with. That's really women's biggest fear. It's not grape. It's not grape. It's because if they find out that, oh, I'm not going to get pregnant off this grape, they'll get over it. Their biggest fear is reproducing with someone that they don't want to reproduce with. That's their biggest fear. And I'm going to just sign off on that end. But man, shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I went a little bit over time. I said 3. Well, this is the first time I'm a little bit on time. I'm gonna sign off on this. Yeah, South Korea, they're gonna go extinct. They're like I said, you see how like South Korea and Japan are letting ninjas in now? They're letting the Africans go in now. That's whether it's the beginning of the end, I don't know, but that's how it works because they're not replacing themselves. This is the side effects of not replacing themselves. But shout out to you. Thank you guys for tuning in. Aerodynamic, thank you guys. Lorette. Right here. Lorette says, during the pandemic, Germany opened up their borders. Exactly. People forget about these things. Middle Eastern immigrants. Exactly. But yeah, shout out to you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, AJ. V, thank you. Next time I will open up the panel. I'll have more time. But guys, thank you. Take it easy and have a blessed day.